Okay, here we go with video number 6. Just a quick one on these little eyes down the side. If you haven't noticed me using these yet, we can hide our sketch, we can hide our bodies, and we can hide individual ones if you want to. If you want to take a look at how this looks individually bit by bit, and you can see that one there looks really good. And you can see I fixed it, and that's all good. Next, we're going to be putting some drainage holes in this piece here. So to do that, same as we did before, select sketch 1, right click and click edit sketch. Now if you right click, if you're struggling with that, because sometimes on a Mac you can struggle, if you hover over this picture here and double click, it will often bring that up into the edit mode, just in case you've been struggling with that right click. For this we're going to do a ring of circles, and we're also going to do a square of circles as well. So firstly I'm going to go to the middle of this point here, and then I'm going to drag down to get that dotted line, and then I'm going to go to the middle of this one here and get another dotted line. And what you'll notice is when I get to the middle, they line up, and then I can draw my circle, and that circle is right in the middle of there, which is just where I want it. Now I could have used the sketch dimension tool to get my circle in the middle. I could click anywhere I want. I can say, hey, I want this to be 10 mil. I want to click sketch dimension, and I can say, hey, from here to here I want this to be 50, because it's 100 from side to side. And I can say, hey, from here to here I want this to be 52, and that would place my circle in the middle. And that's going to be driven off of these. So if I wanted to move this later on, I could use that to move everything. From there, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to select the circle tool, and I'm going to go from that middle point, and I'm just going to come up, and I'm going to draw a circle so it's on the same center line. And this circle, I want this to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to go 3 mil, and I want this to be a set distance away. And yep, you've guessed it, let's make this 25 as well, why not? So this is now 25 from the center to the center. Now it doesn't need to be a circle in the middle of here for the one I'm about to show you to work. I actually just need this point that's in the middle, and I can put anything here. This could be just the end of a line. I could have a line and just the end of the line ends here. As long as I have something to say this is the center, it doesn't matter. But I am going to use this circle for now. What we're going to do is we're going to click on create, go down the drop down menu, and we're going to hit this one here, which is called circular pattern. When I click on circular pattern, it comes up with this dial box here. I'm just going to hide the dimensions for now and hide my sketch palette for now, just to give me some more room. And it says objects. What it's asking me there, when it's got this blue bit selected, is what objects do I want to copy over and over again. So the objects I want to copy are this circle. That's it. The next thing it's asking me is for the center point, and as I said, I'm going to use this circle. I could use this point here, I could use this point here, and then it will center it around that point. But I'm going to use this circle, and it will use the center point of the circle. You can see as soon as I click that, I get 3 up that are exactly 1/3 away from each other. If I change this number to 4, then I'll get 1 every quarter, and they're the same distance away from the circle. And we can keep clicking this, and we can put this number up. I wonder if we can fit 25 in there. Yes, we can. Click return, and that's gonna make my circle pattern all the way around like that. Now there are some other options with circle patterns. You can, when we're doing this, we could have selected to not have a full circle. So I could have 8 circles, but I don't want them to go all the way around. So I can actually pick for it to be just a set angle of my choice. So I could have those 8 circles spread over 90 degrees, over 120 degrees, over whatever I wanted. So that's one option. Another option which is quite nice is the symmetrical one. So it will have some going this way and some going this way from the middle point. So that can be quite nice, and then you can see they'll stretch out and round. That's quite good. You do need an odd number when you do that for them to be even though, I think. But we're going to click that on full. Let's have this one on 8. We don't need to go 25. And I'm going to click OK. Now, if I zoom in here, what you'll see is there's this little constraint marker. And what this is telling us is that these circles here are being driven off of this constraint. And you can actually double click it and then go back and edit it. Now, that will work unless I delete this circle. If I delete this circle, I'm deleting the point that made all of these, and that will disappear, and these will then just become random circles. I can also, if I grab this is where I've decided this was 3. If I decide to change this and go, oh, actually I wanted those holes to be 5, it will change all of them because they're all linked with the circle tool. Now, well, the circle pattern tool. But if I delete this circle, they are no longer linked. I can't change that anymore. And if I go through and I change this back to 3, it will only change the 1. So you have to be a little bit careful about deleting things like this if there's a chance you might want to go back and change it. So it's something to be a little bit mindful of. I can change the size of this. It's only that point in the middle that I need to keep. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the rectangle pattern tool, and I'm tempted to draw a rectangle with a rectangle pattern tool, but I'm actually going to draw a circle because it doesn't matter what I draw. In fact, let's use the spline tool and have a little bit of fun. I'm going to draw a slightly random wobbly shape over here. You can draw whatever wobbly shape you like. It just needs to be a loop that goes all the way around and back onto itself. Then I'm going to click the create, and I'm going to go down to rectangular pattern. Again, objects, this is my object, and you'll see you'll get these 2 lines, arrows come up. This is going to make them go that way, and this is going to make them go that way. So the quantity I want, let's have 8 again, and then next is the distance away I want this to go, and let's try 20, and you can see it's going to copy this shape this way. And I can manually pull this, and usually I would get this shape and it would show me this shape. It's not giving me the preview very well at the moment. This one I can either go up and it will give me rows going up, or I can pull this down to give me rows going down, and I can change how many rows I've got. So if I wanted 6 rows, I can have 6 rows. If I want 100 rows, it will give me 100 rows. Let's keep this to 8. And I shut that by accident. So again, double click and we can reopen that. This one is set to 1. I want that to be 8. Then I want to adjust this. Now, let's say I don't want all of these. I want most of them, but not all of them. I don't want these ones that are too close to the circle in the middle. What I can do is I can click the little ticks, and that will turn those off and turn those back on again. So I don't have to have all of them. Now I'm going to press OK, but I'm a little bit worried that it's not showing me the preview. So I'm worried it's not going to actually do it. Yeah, so it's just given me those points rather than the actual thing. Ah, there we go. I hadn't selected the outside edge properly. Sorry, folks. There you go. So you can see that with this one and this one overlaps here, so I might want to turn that one off if I don't want them overlapping. Now, I'm going to press OK on that, and now I've got this crazy mesh going on along the bottom. Now, if you want, you can go into this and we could delete that original one, but again that's going to delete my source So now I can't edit any of these other ones as a group. If I go back and have that one back in there, what's interesting is I can actually edit these points and it will edit all of them simultaneously. So if I make this longer, it will make all of them longer at the same time. So if I wanted to sort of almost link these together, I can actually link them together with this tool once I've drawn it. So you can make some very, very interesting patterns with this, as you can imagine. But for now, I'm actually going to go all the way back to here, and I'm going to draw that circle that I was saying about at the start, and I'm just going to do a circle pattern with the rectangle pattern. Now at this point here, I'd like you to show some creativity, and I'm going to let you pick how many circles or wobbly lines you do. You can pick how big they are and how many rows you have, and just show me that you've experimented with this a little bit and that you understand how that pattern works. You can change these manually, and I don't want that one in the middle. There we go. So that's the one I'm going to do. Knock yourselves out, do something interesting in the middle there. Once you're done and you're happy with whatever shapes you've made with the circle pattern and the rectangular pattern, click Finish Sketch, and I want you to go back to that extrude one, right click, I believe double click works on it. That will take you into the edit as well, and we're going to want to deselect these circles. Now if you went crazy and you have lots and lots and lots of circles here and they're very small, it can be quite tricky clicking them all one at a time. What you might be better off doing is dragging a box over all of it and then reselecting just the outside edge, and it won't select any of the circles. Click OK, and you can see that hasn't given me a move problem, it's still moved it over there, and I've now got my whole pattern over there. At this point here, take yourselves a wonderful, wonderful screenshot. Make sure it's nice and large on the page. Show me the inside of that and the circles that you've done over here so I can see that you got that to work. And I'll see you in the next video.